Welcome back to the shooting channel, and today we're going to be talking about small gauge guns and who shoots small gauges, what small gauges are used for, and are they in fashion at the moment. Here I've got a single barrel Yieldits 410, I've got a 20 gauge Yieldits, I've got a Belgium 28 gauge, my first gun, I've got a 16 gauge. And a lot of people, they come in and they say to us, oh, my young daughter or son wants to shoot, my wife wants to shoot. Because of cartridges being so soft and so good, a lot of people now start with a 12 gauge. Because soft cartridges are very much on the market now. But there still is a big market if you've got your son or daughter, young son or daughter, that wants to start shooting, having a little pop at some clays, and they might go out and buy themselves a little 410. And these folding 410s are very, very popular. This is one of the new ones. Obviously you can pick up an old one. They're really light. So if you've got a son or daughter with about 6, 7 years old and they're very small and they don't know whether they want to get into it and you don't want to invest a lot of money, you can buy something like this for them that is very little recoil, inexpensive, under £300. And it's a great little birthday present, Christmas present that people want to buy for their son or daughter just to get them going, just to get them into the world of guns. The other thing that these are really useful for, a lot of people do have problems with rats at the moment, and these are absolutely perfect for the job. They're not a massive cartridge, so they don't shoot a massive hole in things when you shoot a wall behind or stuff behind or anything like that. So that's something else that a lot of people use these, is a little vermin control in a small confined space. Then you've got your 28 gauge. Now, I'm going to be honest, 28 gauges have gone out of fashion. I love 28 gauges. I've got a little bit of a soft spot for 28 gauge, and 28 gauge is something that I believe everyone really needs to have in their collection. To start off youngsters, they don't really come with soft cartridges. The cartridges are a little bit thumpier. The manufacturers, because they don't make a lot, they don't develop the cartridges particularly at the moment. 28 gauge, it's not really ideal for a young girl or your young daughter or son, because they do tend to kick quite a lot because of the cartridges mainly. But if you want something to start your son or daughter off and they get to size sort of 10 or 12 and you want something different, 28 gauge is definitely down your route. Then you've got 16. Now again, a 16 is a step up from a 20 gauge. It's a bit like 28 gauge. They never quite took off. A lot of them are out there, but they never quite took off. Again, because they don't make a lot of cartridges, they haven't produced the cartridges, so they have a soft cartridge on it. So 16 gauge is something a bit like the 28 gauge that you buy if you want to buy your son or daughter or your wife something a little bit special, a little bit different. So that's really where the 16 gauge comes into it. The 20 gauge. Now I have got probably one of the most common 28 gauges on the market. This is, I reckon, one of the best 20 gauges, best guns to start your son or daughter off. It's the little Yieldits SPZ 20 gauge. They do it in different barrel lengths, 26 inch, 28 inch, 30 inch. They're really lightweight and they're absolutely fantastic. My nephew has just had one of these for his birthday, and they're just a great little gun for very little money, £600, £700, depending which one you go for. They're quite high in the comb. They've got a lovely soft recoil pad, and also 20 gauges now, you can buy some nice 20 gauges, soft. Fiocchi do the best one, I think. They do a 21 gram Fiocchi plastic, which is really soft, and you can start youngsters off and it doesn't hurt them. So that is your 20 gauge. And if you want something to start off as a step up from the 410, look at the 20 gauge, probably one of the best ones. And then I haven't got one here, but then a lot of people do like to buy a nice 20 bore side by side all over and under to go on game shooting, just something different. and a lot of them do it. Browning do one, Beretta do one, all the manufacturers do it. So 20 gauge is kind of, once you get out of your kid and youngster mode, everyone moves up when they get to sort of 13, 14, they kind of move to a 12 bore. And then once they've done their clay shooting and got there to a sort of 25, 30, 35, and they want to get into game shooting, go out, being nice, go on some nice game days, a lot of people go back to a 20 bore just because it's something different. So that is really what small gauges are used for. And I'm going to be honest, they do have a place. A lot of people say 410s don't have a place on the shooting grounds, 28 gauges don't have a place, 20 gauges, they do. They have a place. But this is where, if you're looking at starting your son or daughter or something to shoot, or you're looking at buying a gun like this, go to your local shooting school and go and ask the experts. Don't go to your local gun shop. Go to your local shooting school and go and ask what gun is the best for my son or daughter or my wife, or what gun do I have a look at. Most shooting schools will have a big range of these guns to show you. I'd like to hear anyone's comments if they've got one of these. Obviously, I started, my first gun was a 28 gauge. This is a little Belgium 28 gauge. Best thing. I'd love to hear your comments. Did you start on one of these guns? I hope you enjoyed this programme. Please like and subscribe. Please follow us on Instagram. Like us on Facebook. Please, please, please join the membership from as little as $2.99 a month. Thank you for watching.